Welcome back. It is week 16, setting the edge back on the YouTube stream. We've been kind of hit or miss here over the last couple of weeks, but we are here back again for week 16 in the NFL. It's already the holidays. It's crazy that it's happening this fast. I know for Tony and Andy, they don't really feel the changing of the season, the wintertime. I know it's a little colder there, but it is some sort of bomb cyclone, polar vortex. I don't know what we're falling into a black hole tomorrow. I don't know. Like they canceled. I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Everything's shutting down. It's getting crazy here in Philly. So I think it's related to Jalen Hurts being hurt. So shout out to apologies to Tony and Manny, who's behind the scenes doing the ones and twos. But I trust in Minshew Mania. He's the guy. I liked him when he was in Jacksonville. So they'll keep it moving. So I want to introduce my panel. If you guys don't know these guys. They are on 5 Reasons Sports. They're doing lots of different content, Heat-related, Dolphins-related, gambling-related, on Better Edge, all kinds of different stuff. I got Andy and Tony with me. Andy last week was the pacer. Put up a good fight. What did you finish, 6-3? 6-3-1?
6-3-1. I put in my best punch, but y'all two said, no, we're making bread this week. Tony went 9-1.
Yeah, I think I went 7-3.
Yeah, man. You guys killed it last week.
So as a punishment for being so dominant, we had to switch it up and put Tony as the pacer. See what happens. See if he can do it again. Is it luck? Is it that he's figured out this gambling thing? So, Tony, are you ready to be the pacer this week in week 16?
Yes, sir. I'm ready to lock it in. I don't know if I can repeat a one-loss scenario again, but I'd love to take everybody's money. I'm rising to the challenge.
Yeah, it's tough task when you're the pacer, and we're going to make it even tougher tonight. We've done this a couple of times. We are going to draft our picks. So in some cases during certain weeks, we can share picks where we all like the Jaguars tonight +3, and we're all on them and we're all together. In this case, we are going draft style. We have given Tony the first pick because he is the pacer to give him a little bit of an advantage there. I am going second. Andy's going third. It'll be snake style, 10 rounds. So it'll be kind of rapid fire. But we'll go through that. As always, this is talking about our competition on Better Edge, the official gambling partner of 5 Reasons Sports. If you don't know about it already, go to betteredge.com/5 reasons or betteredge.com/setting the edge. That'll take you to our competitions page. The arrow is $5 or $10, so it's an easy entry fee. You can make some money off of that. Last week, I think we won $30 from a $10 buy-in, so you're getting 3-1 right there. If you use the code 5 Reasons, you can get yourself $20 from Ethan Skolnick. We love taking money from Ethan Skolnick. And speaking of taking money from Ethan Skolnick, we are going to be doing an NBA competition on Christmas Day. There are 5 games. You're going to pick the sides and totals for those games. Ethan is going to be the pacer. There is no chance. I mean, this is like guaranteed cash. Christmas cash in your stocking by the end of the day. Go against Ethan Skolnick. That competition will get posted tomorrow, so you'll have 2 days to get ready for that. But let's stop talking and let's get to the picks. Tony is going to lead us off. NFL, college, sides and totals, and we have them in our competition. They do not move once they were posted this morning. So, Tony, lead us off with the first pick.
I had so much time to deliberate this, all of 5 minutes after we decided we were going to draft. And I think that the best play for me personally to start this draft is to snatch Rams +1 over the Denver Broncos off the board. Fade the Broncos every chance you can get. It's the best paying bet in the league besides Raptors unders. Anytime the Denver Broncos go out to play football, it is a disaster class waiting to happen. Los Angeles Rams are old, tired, and aging out. Very injured and not together offensively at all, especially with that offensive line still giving up sacks left and right every week. But they have enough to handle the ineptitude of the Denver Broncos this week. And I'm getting value with a point. I mean, I don't know how many points are going to be scored in this game. The total is 35.5. So 1 point might be a swing for me. So we're locking that one in as my first pick.
Stole it right from Sean, bro. Unbelievable.
I had to get there.
I lost last week fading my guy, the worst coach. I don't even want to say his name. The worst coach, Nathaniel Hackett. What an embarrassing person. I like that pick though. That's value there, even though the Rams have struggled. The Broncos trash. Let me look at mine. My first pick.
There's a lot of pressure, Sean.
Right.
A lot of pressure. You can really mix up. You won't get a pick for like 4 picks, man.
I know, right? But I have you in between my next pick, so I know I'll at least get some value out of there.
Nice.
I'm gonna go with the Texans +7. Texans are going to Tennessee. I think this line has moved quite a bit. I think it's more around like a 4 or 4.5 because Tannehill is hurt and they're going to be starting Malik Willis. I know the Titans obviously still have Derrick Henry. They've had a lot of injuries on that lineup, but I think the Texans they have shown to be a feisty group. They are not good by any means. Yeah. They will fight. They will fight you too. They've had games where they should have beat the Chiefs. They fought with the Eagles. Who else? Cowboys. Somebody else recently that they should have put up a fight against. And I think they're going to be competitive. 7 points is too much. Texans +7. Andy's going to be up. You got 2 picks.
Sean, fade that Sean pick. I'm sorry, fellas. Bro, Derrick Henry going to put up
hashtag Sean picks.
Hashtag Sean picks. The only time I'm ever going to tell you to fade Sean. But it could pay off. My pick would have been my number 1 overall pick in today's draft. Jacksonville Jaguars +3. This is easy. Free money, man. Come on now. Trevor Lawrence has proven to me that he's a legit NFL quarterback, that he can play. They got weapons out there. Running tight end. This guy's rejuvenating Evan Ingram's career, making him a top 5 tight end in fantasy and in real life. Jaguars, I like this play. They're going to be without Trevon Walker, the number 1 overall pick pass rusher, but I think they still have enough juice with Josh Allen, the DN, not the quarterback, and some of the deep tackles they got over there to wreak some havoc against one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Jack Wilson. Very, very scary quarterback they're facing today.
So do we have it that Zach's playing?
Zach is playing in it.
Zach's playing? Okay.
Mike White is still not available.
Weather. The only thing I would worry about is that weather tonight. If it's a windy mess, slop fest, I think that starts to bring the Lawrence advantage down because he's obviously clearly better than Zach Wilson.
Give it to Travis Etienne, man. Give it to Travis Etienne. I don't care.
Yeah, I agree. That offense is nasty, but the Jets' defense is good. But getting 3 points, especially against probably the better team.
I love it.
All right, your second one. Go for it, buddy.
Back to back. I got to go Ravens -7. Lamar Jackson still might not play, but the Ravens just don't seem to care. They're pulling him out. The running game has not fallen down whatsoever. Their passing game has struggled a little bit because Huntley is not, the greatest passer in the league. But these Atlanta Falcons, they're not doing great. They're giving Riddler a shot. He didn't impress me last week. I was hoping for something better. They definitely solved all of his riddles, so that's unfortunate for him. But yeah, I really like this -7 for the Ravens, bro. Got to go with that.
I'm gonna go college. I'm gonna go. This is on the 23rd, so this is tomorrow. Wake Forest, team that I know Tony and I bet on them. Good offense. Sam Hartman. That's what's his name? Sam Hartman, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good quarterback. Good offense. They run that little read option thing. He holds it in the threshold the whole time. You never know where the ball's at. It's a crazy looking offense, but I like Wake Forest. They are -1 against Missouri. I don't know what bowl this is called, but I'll look it up in a second. I'm sure it's just a splendid bowl name. But I'm going to go Wake Forest -1 and send it to Tony for 2 picks.
So really quick, I just want to confirm with Andy. When you think of Ritter, you don't think of that guy, right? That's not the same guy you're thinking of?
No, not. I think of Jim Carrey. That's
Understood. I just wanted to check. I just wanted to
I
make
went
sure.
to watch Batman with my wife and my friends, and I fell asleep during the movie. I was really sleepy that day. I liked it. I couldn't pay attention. I missed all the Riddler parts, which made me sad.
It requires you to pay attention to that movie. All right.
Yeah. Hold on real quick. Just so the people are aware, I'm sorry to interrupt you. that Wake Forest Bowl is the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. Wake Forest against Missouri in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. I mean, I should have known that.
Yeah,
A lot of history. Yeah.
Sean, what the hell is a Gasparilla?
Isn't that? I was thinking the first thing I thought it was like root beer, but isn't that sarsaparilla? I think is what that's called.
Yeah, that's sarsaparilla. Gasparilla is a holiday around living like a pirate, celebrating piratism. We dress up like pirates and get drunk on the Tampa water walk.
Wow, the name comes from legendary pirate Jose Gaspar, last of the Buccaneers. Very cool.
Where else are you finding out information like this?
If you want bowl game information, you got to come here every Thursday, man.
All right, here we go. All right, with the next pick, I am going to kick it to college too, and we are going to rock with honestly, I was going to make fun of this, but it's been a really good bowl the last couple of years. The Armed Forces Bowl, man. I'm taking the Baylor's -3.5 against Air Force. I think that there is this chance that Air Force can get up on Baylor and continue to run their offense and just have a lead the whole game and, wreck that spread. 3.5 points. I really think they can nail that. But to me, it's way more likely that the Baylor Bears defense, with time to prep for Air Force's whole, run scheme that they have, is going to be able to dominate this matchup. I think 3.5 points is selling them a little short. That defense has been really good. They've been a team I bet on a lot this year. So that was a pretty easy one for me. I was debating going there first, but I knew Sean would take Nathaniel Hackett. And for the second pick, we talked about points being at a premium in certain matchups. Thursday Night Football already, just going into it raw, points are always at a premium. These unders hit way more often than they don't. I think it's like a 67-68% rate. 38 points with an offense like the Jets, who can't seem to score, getting back a quarterback that makes them even worse, and bad conditions for a Jacksonville team that's still very young and up and down. I'm just going to take the odds here. We're smacking the under on this Jacksonville Jaguars Jets game. That's point total is 38. I think it's probably way under that. I'd be surprised if either one of these teams score more than 17 points.
I like it. I like it.
It's going to be cold and rainy in MetLife Stadium today. 100%.
Yeah, so they'll drop 50. Yeah. They'll score 57 points probably now.
Man, moving fast. Let me go with. All right. I am going to go with. I'm going to go with the Giants.
Pressure,
I'm going to go with the Giants plus 3.5. I've been riding them with the Giants the whole year. They didn't quite get it done for the division, but maybe the Eagles fall apart and the Cowboys maybe fall apart. Giants can still make the playoffs at least. I was close, but the Vikings. I mean, last week, what a comeback! That Matt Ryan, he just loves to give up leads. So I'm going to go with the Giants. Hand it off to Saquon, pound it. The Vikings defense is terrible, so they can get up and they can actually slow down the Vikings comeback. I think the Vikings. Probably it's more of a pick 'em than a 3-point game. So I'm going Giants plus 3.5.
You got me off one of my picks. Now I'm having to change my whole board, man.
Oh man, yeah. Andy, you're up for 2. You're up for 2.
Hey, you guys are just leaving these easy picks on the board. Browns -3. Jarvis Landry's not playing for the Saints this weekend. Chris Olave is not playing. Easy money in Cleveland. If the weather is a factor, Nick Chubb's gonna put up 200 rushing yards. This is the best draft I've ever had in my life, man. Browns -3, easy. I love it. Next pick. I told y'all to fade Sean. Tennessee Titans -7. Come on now. Derrick Henry 4 games in a row. He's put up almost 1,000 yards in 4 games against one team. That team being the Houston Texans, their opponent this weekend. That's all you got to say. I don't care who's playing quarterback. Malik Willis, Bruce Willis, don't matter.
Bruce.
-7. Die hard or die trying, or whatever the phrase is, man.
I love it. I love that Browns pick, actually. I was debating when I was going to try to go with that, and I thought I could get it through, but I like that pick. I'm going to go with probably a risky pick, but I think it's weird to say this because obviously the Eagles are very, very, very good. I don't think that there's going to be a huge drop-off with Minshew. Not because that he is as good as Jalen Hurts. Nobody thinks that. But I think that he's very competent, and I think that they're going to do a good job of keeping him within himself to just win games. Lean on the defense, make explosive plays. You got Miles Sanders. You got the other running backs behind him. You got those pass catchers that are just dominating. Goddard's coming back this week, I believe, too, right?
Yep.
So you have him in the fold. Give me the Eagles +5 in Dallas. I think that would also lock up a playoff spot and the number 1 seed for them, if I'm correct, but something along those lines.
Everybody's making me come off picks, man. This sucks.
Tony, what you think about that? You confident this weekend in your Eagles?
Yeah, I think that the Philadelphia Eagles have shown you that they can win football games in a lot of different ways. So we've had to take the quarterback out and run the ball before and found a way to get a win there. They're going to do it again this week, even though I think Minshew isn't a scratch like at all. He played really well in preseason football. He looked ready. They didn't even give him a lot of leash because he looked so good. Like there was no point to leave him out there. So it was about figuring out if we had anything in those 3 and 4 guys, and we didn't. So we sent their asses home. But yeah, I feel really confident.
Think about last year. There was, mumbling about should he be the starter over Hurts when Hurts was struggling last year in the offense. So that's only a year ago. And now Hurts probably would have been, if not the MVP, he's certainly top 3. Now this injury is going to obviously affect that, but having a hell of a season. But I will be quiet so Tony can go with his 4th and 5th round picks.
Yeah, so it gets difficult when we're making me swap up and take different picks. I'm going to start with Washington. I think that there's a really great feel-good story going on over there. Yeah, sucker, that's what it feels like. There's a really great feel-good story going on in Washington with Heineke and those Pro Bowl selections. Obviously, it's going around the Twitter sphere, that video of Ron letting his players know that they're going to be Pro Bowls and Pro Bowl starters. But the 49ers just have this sense of malaise on them right now. They're not really executing football at the same level they were. Obviously, quarterback changes make that kind of thing happen. But 7 points in this kind of matchup with San Fran when Washington is still fighting for playoff positioning, trying to get their way into that wild card spot, just seems like too many points. They have the point total set at 40 this week. I really don't think this is that high scoring of a matchup. These two teams kind of pair each other really well. And the things that one defense does well is what the offense doesn't succeed against. And it's flipped like that. So I'm just kind of hoping for a 21-24 game. Washington +7. And then...
Now, the power of the almighty Tyler Heineke. You know how vicious
I just don't want to praise Tyler Heineke in God's light. I'm going to try and limit that. But shout outs to the Pro Bowl selection. Man, Bengals 3.5 and the Browns were such great picks. Houston Texans Titans under 39.5. Under is going to be a theme for me this week. Actually, I scratch that.
Just to be clear, I heard you say Bengals. Bengals have not been taken.
The Bengals 3.5 is not taken?
No, I think you're thinking I took the Giants +3.5.
Giants +3.5. So I'm going to ride Bengals 3.5.
Are not available. I'm sorry. No, he's wrong.
I'm so sorry, sir, but I've been informed by the powers that be that this is my next pick. Bengals -3.5, starting to put it together. Joey B looked great after 2 weeks of adjusting to no Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is back. They looked pretty solid without him. They're getting even better now. That team was clicking at the right time. The Jamar Chase thing derailed that ascent, but they're right back where they left off. That team's rocking and rolling, and the Patriots couldn't look more inconsistent. So lock that one in.
All right, I'm going to go next to the Saints and Browns game. We already had Andy take off maybe the Bet the House special, the lock of the week, the Browns -3, one of my favorite plays Since I can't take that, I'm going to go with the Saints and Browns under 32.5. That is under 32.5 points, which is an insane total. The reason it is that low is because the weather in Cleveland is going to be absolutely horrible. More horrible than it is on a normal day, because typically the weather in Cleveland is horrible. But it's going to be windy, cold, like -20 wind chills over the weekend. It's going to be insane. Lots of running the ball between Kamara, Taysom Hill, Chubb, Hunt. That's going to lean under because of that weather. So under 32.5.
It's a good pick.
Wow.
Andy.
Jesus Christ, 30-mile-an-hour winds.
It's going to be tough.
Jesus. Fellas, I did forget to mention, thank you, Sean, for reminding me, that the Bet the House special was the Browns. The Browns, yes. Guys, play that, please. My next pick after those Bengals were stolen from me, thanks, Tony. Got to ride with the Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders +2 at Pittsburgh. Hey, we love Chandler Jones. Thank you for stabbing Bill Belichick in the back right there, last second play. One of the most weird and beautiful last second plays I've seen in the fourth quarter in the game ever. I like this matchup. Waller's back. Josh McDaniel is kind of playing for his job and his competency as a coach around the league and how people view him. He kind of failed this year, gave up a lot of fourth quarter leagues, so they're going to be trying hard. You know, David Carr, Jesus Christ. Derek Carr always goes 110%. Same with Devontae Adams, so that offense is going to blow up. And this Pittsburgh Steelers team has been tossing and turning with two garbage quarterbacks, so this should be an easy W for the Raiders. After that pick, you already know I got to fade Sean twice. Dallas Cowboys -5 in Dallas, in the AT&T Stadium. That's what they call it, right? That big-ass dome, billion-dollar dome. That's why I got to go with Gardner Minshew, beautiful mustache, beautiful human being, but he is not going to be leading these Eagles to a victory or close to a victory. Give me Dallas -5.
Dallas -5. All right. I'm going back to the vortex, the polar vortex. Bills, Bears, under 41 points.
Like that.
Let me read this one. Bills and Bears, high of 11 degrees, low of 5 degrees, with field-like temperatures anywhere between -9 and -20 degrees. 20 to 25 mile-an-hour winds. When you're talking about football, it's not so much about the temperature, it's about the winds. When you get over 20 degrees or 20 miles per hour, is typically when they say that's when it really affects the game. And to throw this in there, Bills and Bears, from what I heard today, I was listening to a big gambling podcast. The wind is going to be going not parallel, in the direction of the end zones. So one quarter, you're going to have it in your back. One quarter, you're going to have it in your face. So when you're watching that game, if the winds stay that way, think about this. In one quarter, Josh Allen is going to have the wind in his back. He's going to be able to throw it like, you know, those old Nerf football things where Michael Vick would throw it out of the stadium. It's going to look like that. And in the next quarter, he's not going to be able to throw the ball at all. They're going to be handing it off. So it'll be interesting if that wind holds like that to see how it's going to play out with those quarter by quarter plays. But I'm going to go with the under overall, under 41.
That's beautiful analysis. I never thought of that, man.
It's crazy.
And I think that experience thrives in that scenario. I think guys being together, quarterback play, running ability, that's all going to play factor in this. The Bills cover this spread. You know, Chicago is going through a weird little media week right now. They're a down team. They you could sense it in how they play. The Bills come out here after a Miami win that was hard fought and put a foot on the Chicago Bears' throat at home. Those conditions are really hard to overcome, especially when you're an inexperienced quarterback. Saying that, Chicago runs the ball a lot. You know, that might be a condition that lets them backdoor cover, but I just don't like it. I think this is a 2-touchdown game.
Especially if they have the refs in the back pocket again. Easy W. Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Is that, just to be clear, Tony, 6th round pick, Bills -9?
-9.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't know if you were just adding on analysis there, but I got you. 7th round. Tony's leading off.
Arizona under 40.5. Unders are a big theme this week. A lot of bad teams playing each other. Arizona and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, two of those teams. I don't really expect either one to be able to score points, especially not the Bucs. That ball's going into the ground a lot more than I would like it to. So they're hoping on inconsistent running backs to show up and ball out. Even when they do, their ceiling is 20, 22 points. So we're smacking the under here because I don't know what the hell Arizona does week to week, but it sure ain't scored a touchdown. So under 40.5.
Bro, could you imagine if the Dolphins would have traded for Brady and had signed Sean Payton, the disaster that would have been this year?
He has really great commercials, though. I don't think you can underrate that.
That I don't even know what to compare that to. That would have been like the trade for Herschel Walker, just an abomination, man.
Yeah.
Thank goodness we didn't do that. Sorry, Sean. Sorry.
It's okay. It's Tom Brady kisses the kids on the lips. It's weird. He's just a weird dude. Speaking of weird, I'm going to go back to the college game.
Ever an age that's not weird, or does it become weird at a certain age?
Maybe little babies, 2, 3 years old. I don't know. I don't have any kids.
Two is the time. 2 is the time. That's when we stop Lorena.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you. All right, back to out of parent corner. Back to the draft. I'm going to go back to the college game. Louisiana Lafayette against Houston, under 57.5. We have a lot of unders, college and today. Under 57.5 is going to be my pick in that bowl game.
And I'm really feeling the under this week on even a lot of these games we're talking about. Just as the season it starts to extend here, it gets colder. These point totals take a second to adjust, and I'm just hoping we can hammer in some wins from that.
Yep. All right, Andy. 2 from you, 7th and 8th round.
Right now, I got to go with my big beef for white boys this year, man. In their bowl game against the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Oh, you fucker.
Badgers -3, man. Come on. They're fired up.
Damn it.
You got head coach Luke Finkel. Got to turn things around. I don't care if Graham Mertz left to the Gators, left to the swamp. He's going to sink and die over there. Our homeboy Manny knows what I'm talking about.
Man.
Give me Badgers -3, man. It's easy money. White boys going to push. This is the weather for them. They got that temperature. They're going to run all over the field, man. Next pick. And while I'm talking for my next pick, when do you guys find out what the name of this bull is? Because we have to.
I'm looking it up right now. It's an important thing to know.
Manny. We'll put something in the pirate chat.
Of course, you had to pick this because it is the guaranteed rate bowl. Guaranteed rate bowl.
There you go. It's guaranteed W. Oh boy. Now for my next pick, I gotta pick this up before one of you suckers snipes me. Miami Dolphins -4.5 against the Green Bay Packers and the corpse of Aaron Rodgers. We love you, A-Rob, for being so kind to our boy Tua. Speaking facts. Well, that's the thing. You're just speaking facts. It's nothing special, okay? I know we got a bitter taste in our mouth after what happened in Buffalo, but this team really proved that we are contenders in the AFC. I think if there was any fear about playing in Buffalo in the playoffs, playing in KC in the playoffs, it's gone. At home against a struggling team in the Packers, Tua got snubbed. Wilkins, a top 3 defensive tackle in the league, got snubbed from the Pro Bowl. Jaden Waddle got snubbed from the Pro. These guys are going to come in hungry. They're going to put up 35 plus. That's easy money. Dolphins -4.5.
I like that pick. Man, draft is hard when you get to the end,
Tough.
especially. I'm gonna go. I have way too many college picks. This is not gonna end well for me. I'm gonna go to the college bowl game: Coastal Carolina, Eastern Carolina, a battle of the Carolinas. One of the most epic Carolina battles we've ever seen in bowl history. Over 59.5. As we do this, I'm looking up to see what bowl this is because that's the most important thing here. And of course, it is the Birmingham Bowl. So if you're going to go down to Birmingham, Alabama and have a battle of the Carolinas, there's probably going to be a lot of chewing tobacco, a lot of, PBR beers, stuff like that. Bush Light 30 packs probably. Andy, your face just says it all. There's got to be 30 packs of Busch Light.
Birmingham Bowl? What does that
Yeah,
even mean?
Birmingham, Alabama. All right, that's my pick. Over 59.5, just like Forrest Gump said.
All right. I'm going to keep it in the spirit. I'm going to keep it in the season. The Quick Lane Bowl. The Quick Lane Bowl, guys. New Mexico State versus the Bowling Green Falcons. These are two pretty middling teams, right? I think literally they're both 6-6. The consensus money seems to really be flying on the Bowling Green Falcons. I'm not 1,000% sure about which side spread you should take, but I am feeling the over. This is a 2:30 game. The conditions are right for it just to be regularly cold weather. So I'm hoping that one of these fucking overs that I'm picking this week hits. This has to be the one. Like, it's a pretty good game. It's in a great time slot. Both of these teams have a lot of rest coming into it, and they can both score the ball. I don't think I'm getting enough points value on New Mexico State to take that spread, and I don't really feel great about Bowling Green as a football club that can score the ball in any way that separates them, right? So like a 3-point spread seems pretty good. I might take it in real life. I'm just not going to take it in the competition. I feel better about over 48 here. And then my next one more over. This is the last one I have. I don't think Minshew changes the formula too much. I think Eagles-Cowboys ends up still being a high-scoring matchup. We have score predictions like 37-17 out there. We have score predictions like 27-24 out there. That all tracks to me. I think both of these squads know each other really well and are going to put the ball in the end zone a lot. Defense is going to be at a premium here, and a defensive score just feels like it's happening for both sides of the ball. Like that could change the momentum really quick. Both special teams are really good, so this could be an explosive showdown at 4:25, and we could really use a good game in that time slot. So over 46, Eagles.
I thought you were going to snipe me with your 8th round pick, but I'm glad you didn't. I'm going opposite of somebody. I'm going opposite of Andy. I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers -2 against the Raiders. I'm playing this because I think the Raiders are soft. And I think the Raiders, when they go to Pittsburgh and they get in that freezing cold, a dome team, they don't have the ability to have, guys throwing it back and doing foolish things and winning that game because of that. Ain't going to happen this time. Steelers are playing better. Tomlin's going to fire them up. Steelers win at home -2. Andy, you're up for your last two, 9th and 10th round.
Well, to start the 9th round, I got to go with the Camellia Bowl. Camellia Bowl? I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. All I know, it's based off the beautiful flower in Alabama. It's a nice pink and yellow dots in the middle. It's a beautiful flower. And you know who else is going to be blooming and flowering is the Buffalo Bulls +2.5 over Georgia Southern Eagles. I hate to bet against Frank Gore Jr. He's just one player. Even though he runs and he throws and he catches, he cannot stop the whole team. I like this pick, Buffalo Bulls +3.5. And for my final pick, you guys put it kind of tough on me because there's barely anything on the board. But there's one thing that I got to do. Unfortunately, I got to go Los Angeles Chargers.
All right, I'm still good.
-3.5. Against the Colts. Why? Because the Colts are pretty bad. They can't even win the game with a 30-point handicap for the other team. I don't know how you give up that type of lead, man. Chargers -3.5 should be easy money if Justin Herbert is who you guys think he is. So I'm going with that as my final pick.
My last pick, this is where I thought Tony was going. Lock of the century, Bowling Green -2.5. Bowling Green Falcons, Isaac Zumba, myself, Jason Jackson, both alumni of Bowling Green. When I was there, Urban Meyer was the head coach. It was his first head coaching job, by the way. Hopefully he wasn't doing crazy fondling horny dog stuff, but he probably was behind the scenes.
Keep him out of bars.
But Urban, he was, that's what Urban does. He's a horny dog. So Bowling Green -2.5. They have a good offense, not a great defense. They will compete. They will play hard. I think the MAC is actually pretty good, and I think that they'll take it to New Mexico State. And I agree with Tony on the over. I think it's a game where a lot of points are going to be scored because those teams do not play defense, especially Bowling Green. Tony, you get to close this up with the 10th pick in the draft.
Detroit -3. They're putting it together. I really feel good about them. Carolina has to start losing eventually.
No, they will not, especially when they keep feeding DJ Moore because he's on my fantasy team.
The Lions are a sneaky wild card team, though.
They can sneak all they want. I just need DJ Moore to score some points. No, but for that offense is nasty, especially with Jameson Williams coming back, bro. He is for real.
Let me ask this question as we start to close things up. And obviously, before we do that, anyone that's listening, we appreciate you listening for sure. Check out the competition, BetterEdge.com, official gambling partner of 5 Reasons Sports. BetterEdge.com/5 Reasons. Get $20 from Ethan Skolnick. We'll also have an NBA Christmas Day competition starting tomorrow that will happen on Christmas Day on Sunday. You can do that. 5 NBA games, sides and totals. All you got to do is beat Ethan. Easy money. Just like it's easy money. No, it's not going to be easy money. Tony went 9-1 last week, so this is going to be tough. But I know there's already 4 or 5 people that have joined the competition. We got some people, week in, week out doing this. We love it, having the competition and joining with us. I want to ask you guys a question. We used to do this at the beginning, and we've kind of gotten away from it. Give me and I'll start. We started with Tony, so let's start with Andy first. Andy, what is your NFC championship? Who versus who, and who is winning?
In terms of talent, I think it's got to be Eagles versus Cowboys AFC championship game. If, the playoff table falls that way where they can meet up, I think those are the 2 best teams in the AFC. NFC. I think with Purdy, the Niners pretty much got kicked off. I had them as a little dark horse. Vikings don't scare me. They can ball, but they don't really scare me against those 2 defenses. If you want to know my AFC.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to come to you back. Hold on. I'll come back to you.
There you go.
Tony, what's your NFC? Eagles and
It gets harder and harder every week, man. I think that
that's what
the 49ers, she better be a good one then. I think that the 49ers are working desperately to put it together, and it wouldn't shock me if we get to the point in the playoffs where, that team's clicking a little bit more. They found some kind of formula using all their playmakers and stars. I oddly agree with Andy. I think that it will end up being Eagles, Cowboys. I think we see that happen 3 times in a year. That's happened before, usually in a wild card matchup. But if it plays out right, it could be that. But 49ers, if it's not that perfect placement.
And correct me if I'm wrong here. And I know we have 2 Eagles fans on the stream. If the Eagles would have to lose every game for the rest of the season, the Cowboys would have to win out because you have 13-1 to 10-4.
Yeah.
So they're basically that game would be in Philly almost like a 90% certain.
Yeah. It's the only way that would happen. They would have to take the division, and that's us not winning another game. That's the only chance they have.
Eagles are at Dallas, home against the Saints. Sorry, Ray. That's the lockup game, or home against the Giants. So this week will be tough, but especially even without Hurts, those last 2 games are definitely winnable, especially the Saints game. I feel like. You know what, guys? I agree with you on the Eagles. I think it's going to be the 49ers. I think that they have enough, especially with that defense, to get through with Brock Purdy, especially if they can just keep the game within it. You can't make the 49ers game a 38-35 game. That's not the game the 49ers win. So if the Eagles come out there and they're blowing things up on offense, obviously the 49ers can't stick with that type of offense. But I think I would go Eagles 49ers, and I think the Eagles are the better team. I think that the 49ers, if their defense can get rolling, can definitely be there. There's a drop after that. I think it's clear. We've talked about the 3 teams that are definitely who you're talking about in the NFC. AFC, I think, is a little bit more wide open. So I'll go Tony first. What would you say is the AFC championship? Who do you got winning?
Yeah, it's really tough, man. there's something that just I wanted the Bills to prove to me during the regular season this year that I haven't gotten. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to get it going into the playoffs. Some of those guys are real gamers, and when the lights are bright, they shine. I like the mirror match, though. I do. I like the mirror match of the Chiefs and the Dolphins in the AFC playoffs. That's the dream for me, like to see the two great football minds kind of go at each other using very, very, very similar talent distributions and layouts and playbooks. I would love to just see those two guys do battle. And I also think that it's kind of this stepping stone in the AFC because the Dolphins are a team that have a lot of pieces that are going to be competing for a couple years. And it'd be cool to see like a passing of the torch moment happen. But the Bills are very much still in this thing, man. They're probably the second best team in the league right now, just because of a UCL injury. So, but there's something about their inconsistency that just scares the hell out of me. In a playoff setting, I just don't know if I can trust them.
Andy?
I think we're going to see the tiebreaker between the Dolphins and the Bills in the AFC Championship. I think that's going to be the next 3 or 4 or 5 years. It's going to be that Manning versus Brady type that you look forward to it every year. It's prime time. It's two of the best teams, two of the best quarterbacks. It's what you want to see. Now, I'm not scared of the Bills at all. We should have won this weekend. We should be up 2-0 on them. I'm looking forward to that matchup. We got to take care of business the rest of this season and in the playoffs. So I think Miami can get it done, but anything can happen in the AFC Championship. But I'm expecting Miami versus Philadelphia. That is my dream matchup this year. Too many narratives, too many storylines, and too much talent for that not to be. So that's what I'm going for.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think in the AFC you have, especially when you get to those wild card games, I think there's a lot more teams that are live, like to upset people. Like I don't see the Eagles unless let's say Hurts doesn't come back, but I don't see the Eagles losing in the first round to in like a wild card. They're not losing to the Bucs if it was a rematch of last year, or the Seahawks, or the Panthers, or the Lions, or those teams are such a class down. When you look at the AFC, it could be, technically speaking, the Dolphins could be a wild card team, obviously. The Patriots or the Jets. I wouldn't say the Patriots are a threat necessarily, but the Jets with that defense. The Ravens, if Lamar's back, you got his talent. That's who you're going to play in the first round. It could be the Titans with Derrick Henry. Yeah. Like these big, powerful, even just individuals. Justin Herbert and the Chargers, their threat. They could be a good offense you're going against. So there's just like the path is so much harder, I feel like, in the AFC than it is in the NFC. But for us as fans, it's going to be something cool to watch for sure.
So actually, I'm looking at the standings and how the picture would actually work out. I kind of would like to adjust my pick just a little bit. I think looking at it now, if everything stays as it is, Cincinnati has a pretty easy path to an AFC playoff game. And the way that the Dolphins would have to fight through, I really wish I would have looked at this before I said something that made everybody feel good. Now I'm going to take the Dolphins out. But I'm looking at it. I'm seeing Cincinnati Chiefs. So I think that's where I would like to shift it.
That would be a rematch of the AFC Championship last year, right?
Right.
Well, it'll be interesting, guys. We'll be here for every week. We got 3 weeks left in the regular season. We'll adjust a little bit as we get into the postseason, obviously, with less games happening and as the bowls are finishing up. We still have the bowl competition going on. It's too late to join. I haven't even, to be honest with you, I haven't checked recently how I've been doing.
I checked yesterday. Yeah.
I think everybody's killing it. Everybody and Greg is dominating.
Greg is
doing great, and Greg is dominating.
As always, Andy is full of shit. I'm in last place.
That's what I thought. I was gonna let it sit.
I am 6-7, so I'm not too far behind. I'm 6-7. There's one person tied with me. There's a couple 7 and 6s, a couple 8 and 5s. 9-4. Ethan Skolnick is 9-4. That's a crack of shit. And then Greg, like you said, and KAUFY84 is 10-3 also. So
What's
that's
Tony's mind record? I don't remember.
7-6 for Tony. I just closed it, but I can pull it back up. You
No,
were definitely.
I'm
I think
7-6.
8-5.
I know
Yeah,
15 and 0.
I think you're 8-5 or 15-0. Yeah, something like that. Well, look, we appreciate you guys coming in. We'll get out of here before Thursday night football starts. Make sure you're on the getting in this Week 16 competition. Look out for the Christmas Day special. Everybody have a happy holidays, safe travels, whatever you're doing over the holidays. Enjoy it. Be safe. Stay warm if you're in the Northeast like myself, and survive this polar vortex or whatever is coming tomorrow. And we'll be back next Thursday. I'll be in Vegas next Thursday, so I'm going to try to be here, I guess.
Really?
You guys might be. Yeah, I'm going to Vegas.
What's your
I'm
Christian
face.
I'm just getting out of here, man. I'm gonna go reminisce Tony's beer pong trials. No comment. Manny, close this out before I get myself in trouble.